The Dallas Cowboys just played in their second preseason game of the year, and there were a couple of players that really stood out in my opinion. Obviously, Andrew Booth looked really good. He played a good amount of snaps as well. They were trying to get him to prove himself. I also loved Troy Pride and Ernest Brown, but also Shamar James. We posted a Shamar James video on my second channel. If you want to watch that video, you can find it under my community tab, or you can look up Matty Dub's NFL film. Go watch that video. That dude is really good. But in this video, I wanted to break down Jack Sanborn. Now, obviously, new linebacker coming over here from Chicago. He is a guy that is already starting to cement himself and position himself to be an X factor on this team in the second level of this defense. So we're going to break down the film. I want to show you what he adds to this team, and every time I watch linebackers, I look for one thing: the ability to read, react, and attack without overcommitting on running plays, right? So what do I mean by that? Right here, you're going to see him do a good job kind of motioning over with the offensive line to this right. Obviously, they're stretching this to the right. Now, obviously, as well, they can bounce to the outside, they can bring it to the inside, or they can use the cutback lane. There's basically three ways this running back can go here. So what I mean by reading and reacting and not overcommitting, right, is not, boom, overcommitting there, or overcommitting to this hole, or overcommitting to this hole, because again, he can cut this thing back, or you can bounce it, right? You don't want to put yourself out of position. So what Jack Sanborn does is stop right at that second level, and he wants to wait for that running back to pick and choose his hole. Because again, you can tell, he can go boom, he can go boom, or he could go boom. Right, so we want to wait for this running back to make his decision. And once the running back makes his decision, cuts up the field, that's when Jack Sanborn overcommits, and boom. I don't want to say overcommits because he commits perfectly. Right, so again, whenever I'm looking at linebackers, I look for the ability to read, right, react, and then attack once you see where he's going. And I feel like he does a really good job on this play, kind of showcasing that ability to a T. Right, so I'm very, very excited about him. Marshawn Nealon also gets there as well. Let's actually watch Marshawn Nealon, because he actually does a good job kind of setting the offside edge here, but also tracking him down and making sure to be there. Good speed. Great job, Jack Sanborn, Marshawn Nealon on that play. We're going to dive into a bunch of film. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, but more importantly, comment down below a few more names that you would like me to break down from this game. Again, Shamar James' video is already out on the second channel. Go check that out. Let's dive in. Another good play here by the defense. Jack Sanborn once again involved in this play a little bit. They're going to come out in this 4-3 type of defense, where obviously you have 4 down linemen or 4 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers out here. Now the reason we're doing that is because the offense is in 12 personnel. They have obviously 1 running back. If you guys don't know personnel, we can break it down really quickly. That first number in personnel, whether it's 10 personnel, 12, 21, the first number is always going to represent the running backs in the backfield, and the second number is always going to represent the tight ends on the football field. So you got 12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight ends, which means we're going to come out with 3 linebackers on the football field. Now, once again, just like last play, they're going to kind of stretch this thing out to this right side again, but they can break it out, they can break it in, they can use the cutback lane if they want to. So again, we got to be very conservative with where we overcommit if we do. So right here, we do a great job kind of avoiding any offensive lineman, okay? That's one thing I love about Jack Sanborn. So good at, hey, let's not just go downhill. Let's not just engage in this offensive lineman. Let's get around him. Let's avoid. Let's disengage from any contact with any offensive lineman, right? And a bunch of these guys do it. A bunch of these guys do it. So I got to give credit kind of all around here. Because look at, great job, great tackle. But Jack Sanborn is also right there. He's containing the edge. If he were to get by, right, if this running back were to break that tackle, he can't go to the outside, right? Because Jack Sanborn's containing the outside. He can't go inside because we got 2 guys there as well, right? We got guys over here. A beautiful job. This defense was everywhere it needed to be on this play, right? Good job by Jack Sanborn getting to the outside and containing that edge, just in case. You never know. But overall, another good play there by the offense. Guys are looking good. Damone Clark, right? Great play. Let's go. All right, here we go. Now, we're going to be dropping back into a zone coverage here. We're going to get a little bit of pre-snap motion. They originally come out 5 wide, empty set, but they are in 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end on the field. we're going to notice here that Jack Sanborn is going to be dropping back into what seems to be a hook curl here. Let's actually let this play a second so we can see exactly what their defense is. Looks like they check something. The offense does check into a new play. I think we're going to get a shallow cross over the middle. So we get a little bit of a mesh concept for the most part here. See the tight end kind of getting in the way of this linebacker as they shallow cross this guy across the formation. We have this guy kind of tacking the seams to see if they can get Jack Sanborn to back up a little bit too much and allow that seam to break, but allow the shallow cross to kind of break open. So that looks like what their game plan is offensively for the Ravens. But Jack Sanborn does a really good job reading the eyes of the quarterback. And whenever you're sitting in a zone coverage, guys, your job is to specifically read the quarterback's eyes, because for the majority of the time, these quarterbacks will tell you where they want to go with the football. So as Cooper Rush is viewing and looking and scanning the field, right, he kind of stares down this little shallow cross. Sanborn jumps up, and a great tackler in open space here brings him down, maybe picks up 4 or 5 yards. But again, good job not allowing a chunk play in this zone coverage. He does a good job kind of seeing this seam by Wallace, I want to say his name is, right? Kind of backing up with it, not allowing it to be thrown early, but then coming back up and making this tackle at the line of, not the line of scrimmage, but after a 4 or 5 yard pickup. Another good play by Jack Sanborn. Again, didn't play too much in this game, only played 19 snaps, but let's continue to break those down. And actually, really quickly, before we get any further, make sure you guys do me a big favor, hit that like button, but most importantly, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. If you are new, it is free. It doesn't cost anything. And we will be covering the Cowboys not only throughout preseason, but also regular season. Not only defense, but also offense. And also individual player film just like this. So make sure you guys join the family if you haven't already done so yet. Here's another play I really like. So we're going to be in a zone. And again, I want to show you his ability to read and react to what the quarterback is doing. Our job in zone is to read the quarterback's eyes. So as he's dropping back, right, he's point switching. He's saying, hey, we got a shallow cross over the middle. You're going to need to step up, right? Our guys are going to need to step up and guard that shallow cross. As we're dropping back, they're going to get a dig over the middle of the field, right? But watch Jack Sanborn here. He does a beautiful job reading the quarterback's eyes, right? He is right in this passing lane. The quarterback goes, Cooper Rush goes to load up this ball over the middle. And let me say this, if this ball was thrown, this is probably an interception by Jack Sanborn. He is right there. He is all over it. But they also get pressure. Ball gets thrown to the dirt. It goes incomplete anyway. But I think Jack Sanborn on this play, good job communicating. Let's go. That's something we need to see. The point switch gets his guy to come up. Great job. Also plays that passing lane where the quarterback's like, I'm just going to throw this into the dirt. Yes, he does get hit. It ultimately probably causes him to throw this into the dirt. But either way, we know that Jack Sanborn was all over this thing. As a in-game leader, Jack Sanborn is the guy. All right, a couple more plays I want to show you. Another 4-3 formation here defensively. They're in the I form. Looks like they come out in 22 personnel, essentially 2 running backs and 2 tight ends in the football field. You don't see this too often, but you do see it in goal line. Oh, let me actually move up. But here we go. 22 personnel. They're going to hand this football off. Jack Sanborn again. Look how he waits to engage and then disengage. Go make a tackle. Great job. Again, reading, reacting, attacking, not engaging with the offensive linemen. Waiting. Where are you going to go? Are you going to break to the outside? Are you going to break to the inside? Cut back left, right? Another good job by Jack Sanborn. I'm telling you, very instinctual linebacker that I love. I love his game. I think he's going to be a good player. Here's a good pass coverage rep here on Dearness Johnson by Jack Sanborn over the middle of the field. We're going to see him break on it really quickly. Good sideline to sideline speed. Gets to his spot very quickly. Ultimately, quarterback Cooper Rush tries to fit it into a tight window. Is not completed there. Good job in coverage there by Jack Sanborn. Not specifically known as a great cover linebacker at times, but he is improving very, very fast. I feel like over his first couple of years, I've seen nothing but improvement, which tells me he could end up being a really good pass coverage type of linebacker. So that is something to look forward to. Here we go. Another quick little play. This will probably be the last one we break down because after this, he was out the game. They saw enough, right? They're going to try to get a little curl route, little stop route over the middle here, and the quarterback wants it all day long, right? He is trying to get that ball in there quickly, but Jack Sanborn is absolutely covering that thing up beautifully, and this is against a wide receiver, so he looks it off. He ends up trying to go to the back of the end zone, ends up going incomplete there. I believe, yeah, over that. But again, Jack Sanborn coverage, man, he is getting better. One of the best players, I thought, in 19 snaps that we saw. I thought he was one of the best. So hit the like button, subscribe, join the family, turn on post notifications if you want more Dallas Cowboy updates, news, notes, analysis, highlights, observations, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.